are live. NBA rundown time. RunPureSports.com. The best in sports betting and daily fantasy information. We had no show yesterday, but we still had to talk to JC this week. He's been providing valuable information for us, for you guys, the listeners. And of course, we got Travis in here. Travis, I was saying before the show, you're like a guy who's hit 9 shots in a row on the basketball court, right? It's like heat check time. You guys start firing at some plus 600s with the way that you've been reading the board. And of course, my guy, Tyler, my teammate, JC, the guy that I worked together with to create the NBA playbook, your source for winning NBA betting information. Couldn't do it without you, Tyler. Glad to see you here today. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I mean, we had a good weekend of basketball. We got an actual game that our guy Travis can slob over Tatum a little bit. Because, I mean, man, what he put up, 50-plus in that game? He hit all his threes. They put him to bed in the third quarter. So that's a game we could talk about where he actually played well. He had a good first half. Unlike that other game, Travis tried to sell us on that his first half was pretty good. And then, I mean, the Heat were able to get the job done on that Friday night. So Travis was right about that, too. So we could just let him ensue his victory lap that he was taking on Friday. Just let him continue it here on Tuesday, spread.
I mean, geez, you got to be shredded right now. Those hamstrings got to be sore. Travis, this victory lap has turned into a 100-mile ultra marathon. How are you feeling today about the NBA?
Yeah, I didn't like change shows with AP to victory lap or anything. Like he just asked me. I woke up.
Oh, sure.
At 5:30 a.m. I got a DM that's like, "Can you switch shows? I got to do this and that." And I was like, "Yeah, no problem. I can switch. You can be on Friday if you want." So no, happy to be here to talk NBA and talk about these series before they start. Celtics, they close the door. Well, I'll get to this question. Tyler, I have a question coming up for you, so be prepared. It's about Tatum. You're going to hate it, but I want to hear your answer. So Celtics won. That was a big deal. Tatum definitely rose up to the occasion. Awesome to see. He's better than Jaylen Brown. So all those people that think Jaylen Brown is better don't know what you're talking about. But I like Jaylen Brown. He's great. He's awesome. But he's not Jason Tatum. Some people are built different, right? DC's a great ping pong player, but he's not better than me. It's just simple. So that's how it goes.
You managed to put big ping pong into this victory lap?
I just try to say it's the truth. Sometimes someone's better.
Shot at our guy DC.
Unbelievable.
I mean, DC's great. Like I would play doubles with him. He'd be a great partner. But I'm just better. I don't know what to tell you.
Can't wait for the 30 for 30 on your ping pong career.
And then when it comes to what's it called? When it comes to what other game were we talking about? Oh, that Lakers Nuggets game we'll get into. I want to ask Tyler the question. This is what I want to do. I've been thinking about it at the gym this morning. So Jason Tatum's not a superstar, right? He's not a superstar, Tyler. So who are the guys you'd have above him? Like if you were drafting right now for the future, right? Like you're building a franchise. We're not including the guys over 30. Like the guys over 30 aren't on this list. Like we're not putting LeBron. You get like 2-3 years of him. We're not putting Curry for 5 years.
At this point, you might get 10 years of LeBron. You never even know. I think you can put LeBron in there.
We're not
going to play till he's like 48.
We're not putting him in there. We're putting the guys that if you're starting a franchise, who would you start with? Where do you draft Jason Tatum? Because he's not a superstar, apparently.
I got to start off here first, but when did I call him not a superstar? I just said he had a bad game 6. I was never on this group of guys that said he wasn't a superstar. So
I didn't know you seemed like you were in that group. Maybe I'm loving.
No, I always said he was playing bad throughout that series. His shooting percentages were pretty bad that series. You could argue Brown was outplaying him. And then in game 6, it looked like it was going to blow up in everyone's face, and he was going to look like the guy that did it. I thought Brown was absolute cheeks in that series. I don't see what everyone else saw that he was playing good, but I don't know. Yeah, but I would say probably 2.
No, you got
behind Luka.
I think Luka,
Jokic,
yeah,
Giannis.
Sure.
I want a guy that can shoot.
Sure, we'll put
Victor. You have to throw Victor in there.
It is Victor Day, so we have to put.
We're not putting Victor in. Victor isn't even in the draft.
What do you mean?
He's not drafted. We're not putting him in there. He's not.
Yo, he's
we know where he
there.
plays tonight, Travis. What do you mean?
I can get Ronnie if I want.
You're not choosing those guys. You're choosing guys that are in the NBA.
Just for me, it's Luka.
Luka, Jokic, Giannis. I'd probably go Tatum over Embiid due to injuries.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted. I would have to probably give Tatum the edge, but I'd think about Banchero over Tatum.
That is a hot take.
If we're building for the future.
Is Banchero even better than Cade Cunningham?
No.
I'd think about it.
At least we have him in the top 5. That's all I was hoping.
The top 5 is fine.
Tyler, do you agree he's at least in the top 5?
I put him at number 2, Travis.
Yeah.
You put him at 2.
I had him. I had to go Luka, Tatum, Jokic.
Spread's the guy you got to check with.
Yeah, Spread. Where do you have him at?
I'm about the same with these guys.
Okay.
I think
I just want to make sure.
First of all, Victor has to be in there, so I refuse to let you let him out. So it's Victor number 1.
Number
Giannis,
1,
Luka.
You would rather take Victor than Giannis.
Did you guys see
Yes.
the thing that came out that one front office said that they would give him a max contract on his second contract?
Yeah.
Without even
Already.
seeing him play 1 minute. They're like, I will just give it to him now.
Can I ask a Victor question? Like 7 guys over 7 feet tall, like they typically die, right? Like they just like they don't last. I'm not saying that will happen to him. I'm just asking the question, do we feel confident in his health like going forward?
Yes.
I do, because he's actually has like a coach that like does all the drills with him, make sure he does all his like stretching and all that before game.
And he makes Tyler look like a bodybuilder. There's not a lot of weight on those knees.
Yeah,
I'm not asking and like trying to be like, oh, he's gonna suck. I don't think that. I'm not out here touting that I've been watching this dude since he was 13, right? Like I understand he's like the next best coming, but I also understand a lot of these big guys don't last. Like that was Embiid's problem all the time. It was like Embiid's gonna be talented. He's gonna be great. But is the durability there? It's all these guys above 7 feet for the most part have had those issues, but he also is built differently. And I also understand there are sometimes anomalies. As we'll get into this, people want to bury LeBron James when it's game 6 or game 7. Oh, he's 38 years old. Good luck. It's LeBron James. This dude's built different.
I mean, I think he like Giannis is 6'11", and I think he's way more similar to a Giannis than he would be like an Embiid or a Shaq.
Speaking of Embiid, can I ask you guys a question? How many more years do you think that Sixers have with him being okay? So right now, the way he's playing, they're a title contender. Fringe, but we're not going to get into that. Let's just assume that we're taking that as fact. How many more years do you think we have him at this current level where the Sixers can hope to contend? 3? Or, I mean, is he going to do this for another 6-7 years? What do you think, JC?
I was going to say 3. That was the exact number I had in my head. It's only going to get worse, right? And so you either got to like just not let this man play the first like 3 months of the season or something, because he cannot continue to age and play like he's playing and not.
I mean, he's got to stop taking more bumps than Roman Reigns, too. I mean, this falling all over the floor can't help. What do you think, Travis?
I actually think the falling on the floor is better for him than you think. He falls.
Why?
Because he falls on the floor because he's so big. If you try to catch your body, you're gonna break a limb.
You know, rip a
That's why he falls forward. He does all that falling because when you're that big and you try to stop yourself, your ankle goes, your knee goes. Like he's taught to fall. I've said this already on this rundown. He is taught to fall. Like he has literally been taught. Your body is so big. That's how you're going to survive. It's just continuing to just fall and catch yourself.
Well, I apologize if you've said it on this rundown before I wasn't listening. There's nothing worse than a guy who comes on a show and doesn't listen to what the other people say.
I mean, I don't listen to people, so that's really kind of me. But my take on the Embiid thing is so next year's a wash because you're paying Tobias Harris $40 million. Like you're not winning a championship paying Tobias Harris $40 million. So what they need to do is the future has to be Maxey and Embiid. I think this next coming up year is kind of a wash. I think maybe you let Harden walk, or like you trade him to like help build your future. And then your next chance to really shoot for it is the 2024-2025 season.
Can you afford to I don't think you got 3-year window. You can't afford to just punt one.
We got to remember who the GM is too. Like this guy will fire sell that entire roster if he has to. Including those 2 guys that you said should.
I think you did a good job with the supporting cast this year.
I really like the idea. So my friend came up with this idea. I will not take the credit, but I definitely like to sell on teams quicker and be like, the run is over, right? Like there's nothing we can do about it. It's just over. Like when Rodgers lost against the Niners that one year, I was like, the game that they shouldn't have on that punt. I was like, it's over. They're not winning with him again. It sucks to say it, but it's just the truth. So let's move on now while we can and start building towards the future.
I mean, just hypothetically, Travis, James Harden's already said he likes Phoenix in his free agency. Sign and trade. You get Ayton to Philly. You can get a king's ransom for Embiid.
Ayton is bad.
We're not talking about making Philly good. We're talking about just blowing this entire thing up.
The best way to blow it up is you send Joel Embiid to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have all the pieces to help build for a future. They are in need of a big man. Their situation is set up to grab a win now guy. They could grab a win now Embiid guy, go win a title, and then after they win that title, they're still set up good for the future. And it helps Philadelphia going forward.
What kind of package would Golden State have to pay for him?
I mean, the problem is you have to ship Jordan Poole.
Send them to Philly with them.
They're not going to trade Embiid.
But do you want Jordan Poole? Yeah, so they're not trading Embiid. That's my point. They're not trading Embiid. It's not happening. But if they were, the place that makes the most sense is OKC. It's the perfect fit. They have the pieces to make a trade. It just the stars align that if we were playing this fantasy game, that's what would happen. But they're not, right? I think what they have to do is they have to move on to Maxey being the guy going forward. Harden just goes somewhere. You try to make some kind of sign and trade where it helps you in the future. I think this coming up year is kind of like you're like that 3, 4, 5 seed. You know, you lose again in the second round or so. But
what pieces would you want back from Houston on that Philly team? Because that's another place Harden wants to go. Sign and trade to Houston. Which guys you want? Tari Eason, Kevin Porter Jr. Like.
You probably either want Porter Jr. or Green, right? One of them.
I don't think you're getting Green.
You're not getting either of them.
Okay, so why not? So can they get they probably can't get Jabari Smith. I doubt it, right?
No way.
So what do they
Why
get?
did you just go there?
They just need to run it right back with a new coach. That's their problem. Their problem is not.
I hate to say it. Even without Harden, I think they're okay. I think a greater role for Maxey's good.
The problem with that is
they have no depth.
You're locked into Harden for the future. Like you're locked into Harden. Like if you could sign him on a 1-year deal, I think that's great. I just don't think.
I think he's going to Houston. I think he's outie.
They had 2 chances to win 1 game to put them in the Eastern Conference Finals. Then they make the progression, and everyone's happy. It's the coach. That's all they need. They need to get rid of Doc.
I don't think it's the coach. I think it's the star.
I think it's the lack of depth.
You know what Embiid reminds me? Have you ever seen those families where the mom is super hard on the daughter and then just lets the boy do whatever she wants? I mean, this happens, right? In certain families. This is how I feel the Sixers are with their coach. They're so hard on the coach, and then they just let the Embiid go 5 for 18, no show in the playoffs. Tatum spending more time in the paint than he is. And then, but it's Rivers' fault. It's Doc Rivers' fault. No, it's your star's fault. He can't raise his game in the playoffs. And you can say, well, he's hurt. Well, why is that the coach's fault?
But he's always hurt. It's the other thing. Like, it's like you can't make the excuse of like, oh, he's hurt. Like, if AD dies in like the next like playoff series, you can't be like, well, if we had AD, it's like, yeah, well, no shit. He dies sometimes. Like, it happens. Like, it's kind of part of the equation. You know, it can happen. And it's more likely.
First of all, I'm not saying Doc Rivers is the coach, but I'm just saying Philadelphia fans give that guy a pass so much. It's just so crazy how nothing's ever his fault.
Doc Rivers has such a larger track record of choking. Like, it's.
He also has 2 of the worst playoff performers of this generation in Chris Paul and Joel Embiid. There's not 2 guys that have shrunk in the limelight or simply not been there more than those 2 men over the last 10 years.
Maybe it's because the coach can't get that like final squeeze out of
So what's Doc Rivers supposed to do to keep CP3's hamstring in his leg? I mean,
I'll give you that. For the CP3 thing, sure. It's tough.
I can't believe he didn't win a championship with CP3 and Blake fucking Griffin. Like, I mean, that's not necessarily his fault. That wasn't the best team in the fucking league.
They couldn't make it out of the first round.
That's disrespectful to Lob City.
It is.
I just wanted
to that might be the first time Spread ever dropped an F-bomb on this show.
I have before, but yeah, I don't even know why I'm so fired up this morning. I don't think I didn't sleep well last night.
Yeah, the Embiid stuff, it's going to be tough for the Sixers team. You know, it's a good, I always plug this guy in as like a great, like, he should go to every team. Fred VanVleet. I think Fred VanVleet's awesome.
That's
I
what
know.
they need a guard that can just pour the ball in. Like, yeah, Harden had a couple good games in the playoffs, but he's not the same Harden that he was, where he's not scoring the ball as much.
If you pair VanVleet with Maxey, shitty Tobias
Dude, just
Harris,
make it the Maxi show and get a bunch of wings. That's what they should do.
How many more years? How many
but
more years are on Harris?
Those wings don't exist, Fred. Like, we talk about this all the time. Like, these 3-and-D great wings, they're actually very hard to find.
I
How
know.
many more years are on Harris?
Let me clarify my Rivers take one more time before we move on. First of all, I'm not defending Doc Rivers. I don't think he has a place in the league anymore. I think the game has passed him by. And like you guys said, I mean, he's made plenty of playoff mistakes. But the idea that he holds more culpability than the MVP who went 5 of 18 and didn't touch the ball.
I mean, Embiid definitely deserves.
I don't think a different coach would have won with Embiid. That's just what I'm saying, I guess.
How much do they got to give to Toronto in a sign and trade to get VanVleet and Anunoby to Philly?
Well, VanVleet's a free agent too, so
Yeah, VanVleet's a free
In a
agent.
sign and trade.
You'd have to like send Harden because that's.
I don't know. I heard they were asking for like 4 first-rounders for Anunoby.
And they're not. Yeah, it's. You just hope to pick him up in free agent. The problem this year is this free agent class is like
It's not good.
It's
Well,
like,
first of all, free agency is dead. It's all sign and trades now. The way these guys are.
Just thinking like just thought process. Toronto wants to blow it up. They get rid of their coach. They tried to trade these guys for King Ransom in the regular season. It wouldn't work. There's 1 year left on the Tobias Harris deal. You get that to Toronto with some picks and a couple other pieces. You could steal a couple of those bodies and bring them to Philly.
Yeah, you'd have to give up picks for sure. Like that, no doubt.
I don't know if Toronto would strengthen them either, right?
Free agency is just tough right now. Like, it's not. I mean, there's guys, but it drops quick. Like, it goes like the highest salaries it's sorted by. So it goes Westbrook, Harden, Middleton. Like, Middleton's probably staying. Westbrook, who cares?
Middleton's washed too.
Harden, we think he's going to
he-
Houston. Kyrie, I mean, who knows with that situation? Porzingis staying in Washington.
Dallas. That's my take.
D'Angelo Russell, I mean, who knows? Kevin Love, Vucevic, Draymond, Fred VanVleet's like the first one I actually like think about. Jeremy Grant's like an interesting piece, but like, man, like what Portland's offering, I don't know how he just doesn't stay in Portland. Like, I don't think he deserves what he's getting offered. It's a lot of money. It drops quick for sure.
All right, let's dive into the series that are coming up, and we can fix these teams during an off-season show. Of course, Tyler and I will be doing an NBA draft preview where we're going to bring on our college basketball experts, and it's pretty fun for us, Tyler, right? I feel like in that week I go from knowing nothing about these prospects to just being pretty well-versed on the top 20, and that's a great show.
And just think about
they
it,
called
Fred.
Walker Kessler last year.
Yeah, they did.
Walker
And just think
Kessler was going to be badass.
how we were just talking about those guys getting moved around. Like, once this draft lottery happens tonight, there's going to be a few more guys that end up on the trade block. Rockets land that first overall pick. Your guy could be on the trade block, Şengün. The Magic landed. Every big in that front court not named Banchero goes on the block. Detroit lands it. Wiseman, Duran, Isaiah Stewart all hit the block. The Magic jump up the board to 2, and they get scooped. Jalen Suggs and these guys hit the trade block. So there's going to be a lot of movement going on in this league. There always is in the offseason, but tonight's going to be the start of it.
All right, but let's do tonight second because I don't have you guys with us here for tomorrow. And, right, that's what I'm going to do to keep people here watching us. RunPureSports.com, NBA Rundown. Run Pure Sports, of course, is the best for sports gambling and daily fantasy information. Tyler, help me out. How many units is the playbook up?
We are up about 40 units on the year.
Yep, and we're going to keep on winning. JC's giving out free articles every day, so you don't have to be a member to enjoy the winning. Let's just say you're recreational, only $5 a game, right? We're not leaving you out here. You can jump in, read JC's articles, grab some free winners there. But, of course, you know, if you're betting $50, $100, $150 a game, take advantage of this membership. It's going to be less than 1 unit for you for the month. It's going to pay for itself. And then, of course, you're going to get advantage to the Discord and Travis's single entry and 3 max content. Travis, real quick before we dive in tonight, talk to us about how this 3 max works now that it's pretty much showdown only.
Oh, the problem is I don't think I'm doing it for just Showdown, but I'll have a core always. Like I'll be in the chat. I'll be talking.
So there's no 3 max content right now. So
I'm doing it for MLB. So I'll do it for
Okay.
MLB. I don't know unless there somehow is demand. I didn't do it last year, but I don't know. I think we have enough content for Showdown where I think we kind of like to focus it on we like to really focus it on the playbook. We're in the chat. A lot of us, we're always posting cores. We have cores on the playbook as well. And Big T will post his player pool. So yeah, check all that out. And again, we have shows for it, like Big T and JSU did a free show today on the channel. So you can check that out. I haven't checked it out yet. I certainly will be checking it out. I'll be doing player props throughout the whole postseason as well. So I'll be posting those in the Discord. I haven't gone through them yet today, but maybe during the show I can kind of crank it out while you guys are talking and see what I can find for the people. But we'll have tons of good content for you guys on the DFS side. I mean, I've already looked a little bit about the slate today, but when we get to that game, I'll talk about that.
All right, well, let's dive into tomorrow night's game first because I don't have you guys here. Tyler, I'm just going to go with these guys because they'll hear us ramble about it tomorrow. JC, the Miami Heat are out to plus 8.5. That seems, I haven't run numbers yet. That seems kind of juicy. Are you surprised to see this line? Totals 211. Game one totals kind of interesting. You know, they drop like 10 points during a series. If that goes to game 7, it'll be a 201 again. But what do you think here of a plus 8.5, a 211, and overall, what are your feelings on the Miami Heat taking on the Boston Celtics?
Man, this series is a lot harder to get a read on than the Western Conference Finals. I don't know. I mean, I think 8's a lot of points. I definitely think it's something I'll probably jump on. I don't know how I feel about Miami in the series, but I mean, this series reminds me of what we talked about with Mangone when the playoffs first started, of what's that price where you're interested in the other team. I mean, Boston's the juggernaut here, but Miami's got the hot hand. So looking at a series price of plus 390, I'm interested in Miami. You know, we got a similar problem in the NHL right now in the Eastern Conference Finals of the hot underdog versus the juggernaut. And after what we saw from Boston in that last series against the 76ers, you're going to have to look at Miami twice. And if I'm betting on it right now, I'll take that 390 for them to win the series, and I'll absolutely take 8 points tomorrow night in what will likely be a close first game.
All right, Travis, we saved you for last, but you've been the man on fire. You know, I was thinking about handicapping this game. I was like, should I just take Mangone's pick instead and save myself some time, right? I can get some sunshine, right? Get an extra workout in, be looking extra jacked for the next time we hang out. Travis, who's going to win between the Heat and the Celtics?
Yeah, this one's actually really tough. Like, because it's kind of like what JC said. Like, no one's racing the bet. Whatever it is, like, is it minus 500 or 600? What is it at right now?
Minus 550.
Yeah, like that's
absurd.
Racing the bet. Yeah,
that's absurd.
Yeah, it's really hard to bet on that. One thing we can at least we'll tip the cap to is Missoula made a good adjustment finally. It was, you know, better late than never, right? He at least made the adjustment. Sounds like he's sticking with the Robert Williams thing. I think that makes sense in this series. I mean, one thing that's important, I think, in any championship team is you have to have probably the ability to go either big or small, right? Have a big man to go in there or small. And if not, you better have like a force like an 80 or Jokic to be able to do both, right? So the Celtics have that. They have the ability. They have Williams. They can go the Horford route at the 5 if they want. So they have that opportunity if they need you to make that adjustment throughout the series. I think it's good to start with Robert Williams. The one thing you are going to run into, if we think about this Heat series and how the Celtics just played, I think the Celtics are going to play the Heat pretty identically. They're going to put Robert Williams at the 5. They're going to give up that corner 3. Do we think the Miami guys can make that corner 3 more than the Sixers? I do. I feel pretty confident they'll get those guys in the right spot. I mean, the guys that were shooting the corner 3 were PJ Tucker, Georges Niang, and D'Anthony Melton, right? Like that's not a great combination. I'm not saying the likes of Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, and all these other guys we're talking about are like that much better, but they're better than that trio I talked about in Melton, Niang, and Tucker. So I don't know how much that's gonna totally work. I think it's gonna cause some problems for them early on, where I think the game's gonna be competitive. If you put me in a box, I would take the Heat the +8. Like I would take that, but I also don't mind, and this might be a bad take, I don't mind watching game 1 and kind of just like feeling out the series to see how it plays. Like, I don't think you need to rush to bet game one. I think you can watch how it develops and get a way better read on the series. But if I was looking for my favorite bets, it'd be betting on maybe the 3-pointer bets, or maybe betting on the points props on the overs on those Heat guys that are going to be there. And then I'd probably be high on the Bam unders. I think Bam on the road, it's going to be really tough for him with Robert Williams in the paint, altering his shots a ton. Jimmy's obviously Jimmy. We're not like loving betting against Jimmy, but I want to see how that ankle goes in this series. I mean, the Knicks, it was a lot different. There were times where Jimmy would walk up the court and you'd be like, he understands they have a big enough lead and he can relax. He's not going to be able to relax for all 48 minutes against the Celtics. There's going to be enough pressure where it's going to cause problems. And also, I think the Celtics are going to do the same thing they did last series. They're not going to let the Heat get back in half-court offense. They're going to grab that rebound, push the pace, and run. They're going to try and get out in front when they can at the right opportune times. And what are the Heat going to do? They're going to counter the other way. They're going to slow the game down. They're going to get into a half-court set. So I think it's going to be a battle of which team can dictate the pace properly. My lean is the Celtics for the series, of course. I'm trying to figure out how we can bet it. The problem is the Celtics, like I've been saying all playoffs, they fuck around and they find out. And yeah, they could definitely do that against the Heat too much, right? Like they can. It's just the fact. So I know I've rambled on a lot. I'm trying to just like give my thoughts on where I see the series going. I wouldn't be down to bet. Like if I had to pick how this series goes, I would say it ends up being Celtics in 6. I think they're going to mess around too much. I think the Heat will find ways to survive. I'd either do the 6 or I would do the 5. It's one or the other. I wouldn't lean 7. I wouldn't lean 4. It's either 5 or 6, depending on the price. I haven't looked at the prices. I don't know if you guys have them in front of you and you could tell me, because that would be like if
to bet them in 5 or 6.
Yeah, like what would that be?
Yeah, I'll give that to you right now.
I wouldn't even want to bet
Celtics 4-1 is plus 216. The Boston Celtics 4-2 is plus 363.
Okay.
You can bet Miami plus 2.5 games at minus 135. That just feels like a gift.
Plus 2.5 at what?
Minus 135.
I don't feel as great about that, but it's not bad.
I mean, because it's like the natural line is plus 1.5 and it's paying out almost 2-1, but it's just like
I'd rather just bet Celtics in 6. I don't know. I know it's like riskier for sure, but I guess I like that.
Because I think you're discounting how hot Miami is a little bit and what happened last time these two faced off. Granted, they are different teams, but
yeah, I mean, obviously, if they win in 6, I'm saying the Celtics are winning in Miami and not in Boston, right? Like that's what I'm saying. But like, they'll be fine. I think I like 6. That's just me. I mean, we'll see.
So we're not worried about what we saw against Philly.
Not as much.
Okay.
Like what? So like the first game was like this. I mean, the Sixers were like hot from 3, and like a superstar just went out and won a game, which of course can happen. I mean, Jimmy Butler can go out and win a game. I'm not discounting that. And I think he probably will have one game where you're like, yeah, Jimmy Butler just won the game, but I don't know. I think he's going to have like 2 or 3 of them for them to win the series where he's like, you're like, wow, Jimmy was like that man. I also think he's way more hobbled than people realize. It felt like, I mean, I played Jimmy in DFS a lot in that last series, and I very much watched him closely throughout all the games. And when he knew he could take time off, he would take the time off. I'm wondering how that ankle feels. And yes, it's longer time, but I'm wondering how it feels where it's like, okay, we're like, I don't know, 5 or 6, maybe 5 or 6 games in. And like, he kind of comes to a realization like, man, I got to play all 48 minutes. And it just starts wear and tear on the ankle, right? Like it just could start to add up. So that's my worry as you get deeper and deeper into the series. I think he's going to have to carry a very large load.
All right. That's a great breakdown, Travis. Nice.
I got before, because I won't be able to talk to Travis about the series tomorrow either.
Go ahead.
I think the guy we were discounting a little bit is going to be the X factor in this series, because there's no PJ Tucker to cover Jaylen Brown anymore for Miami. Like, who guards him for Miami here? Strus? Martin? Like, they're probably put Butler on Tatum.
Wait, what's the question?
They're going to put Butler on Tatum. Like, we talked about Jaylen Brown just kind of being like, I thought he played well last series. Travis thought he was more like just there. he's probably the X factor in this series because they really don't have anybody to guard him. If he doesn't show up and Butler and Tatum are just going at it, this could be a lot more dicey of a series than we expect.
Jaylen Brown's been remarkably efficient over the course of this playoffs, though. I think he's only gone under 20 points through the last 10
I was
games.
talking about Travis thought he wasn't all that good last series.
I thought he wasn't great in the Philly series.
Yeah. No need to hit me with stat spread.
Martin's the guy who probably covers Jaylen like in the fourth, right? And like try like throughout, like whenever they're both on the court, like whenever Martin's on the court, he probably gets Jaylen, I would guess, right?
Yeah, that's my guess too, because I don't think they could put Strus on him.
And you can't put Vincent, right? Vincent was actually the primary on.
Could they put Lowry on him? I don't think so either. He's too small.
No, he's too small. It has to be Martin. And Struss was on Randall, but the reason Struss was on Randall, they
baited that man so hard. They wanted
all it was we're gonna put this small white dude on you, and you're gonna think that you have this goofy, stupid 2-pointer shot that you fade on every single time, which is a low percentage shot. He thought he would just have it. He'd either take that awful shot or they'd fire a double at him and he'd just throw the ball out of bounds or something. Like it was a masterclass. It was very frustrating to watch, but they just baited him. They're like, you're just an idiot and don't realize it. You're muted, Tyler.
I wasn't. I was talking to somebody else.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were.
All right, JC, since I don't have you here tomorrow, I want you to help me out with a couple of interesting props that I found for the series. You've been doing well on the props so far. Of course, you can find the props and the other articles by JC over at runpuresports.com. And of course, we'd love for you to become a member. We'd love for you to join the team, but we understand not everyone's in that financial situation to be able to do that right now. So JC's giving you these winners for free. And we're going to talk about some more right now. Most points in the series, Jason Tatum's minus 170. Jimmy Butler's plus 185. What do you think of that, JC?
I love that for Butler because, there is no doubt he's going to lead the scoring for the Heat. But the way this Boston team plays, it could be anyone. First off, Tatum kind of had a crappy series he's coming off of. Was he even the leading scorer on the team in that series? I'd have to double check that.
He probably was just because of that last game.
Yeah, you're probably right. But Butler, it's the Heat's chance come down to Butler. So I love that. I would absolutely grab that.
All right. What do you think? Can I go for Jimmy there, or should I be worried about that ankle there, Travis, and the defensive pressure, that energy, I mean.
What is the prop you have again?
Most points in the series, Jason Tatum's minus 170. Obviously, I don't want to lay at 170, but Jimmy Butler's in here at plus 185, and that caught my eye.
Plus 20. Okay, and obviously, if they lose the series, it doesn't matter as long as he has the most points.
It's just who scores the most points in the series.
Yeah, I actually don't hate that. Yeah, it's actually not.
I thought that was a fun one. Just to get involved in a different way. Most rebounds, Tatum again is the leader at minus 225. No interest in laying that. Bam Adebayo plus 220. That one's not as appealing. Anyone want to make a case for Bam here? If I'm trying to get some plus money action, no,
that's
JC.
like the worst that I've ever heard.
Yeah, and then the assists and the threes seem pretty straightforward. So, okay, those are some fun ones. JC, any more insight on tomorrow's series before we dive into tonight?
No, I'm way more interested in the Western Conference Finals.
Okay, and of course, you're going to get Tyler's and I breakdown on tomorrow night's game because Tyler and I will be here tomorrow, right, Tyler? And, of course, it's the NBA Rundown on this YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Guys, give us a thumbs up. We're here Monday through Friday giving you the winners. And we'll be going more in depth in that game tomorrow. But now it's time for Jonathan Nelson's second favorite part of the day. His favorite part of the day is when him and Kim Kardashian text about how cool the Lakers are. But the Los Angeles Lakers will be in Denver tonight. And I'm surprised, number one, that they opened the spread so big. And then second, the Nuggets took a little bit of money. Tyler, this was all the way out to 6.5. Lakers caught a little comeback today, which doesn't surprise me. I think 6 is a pretty key number here in the NBA. It's sitting right on that key number of 6 right now. Total is 222.5. Hey, we were having a lot of fun with the enders, and of course that Game 7 one was sweaty for us, right? But they've been getting home. Now maybe Game 1, right? A little bit different matchup. Got my eyes on an over yet. Haven't bet anything. Of course, we will talk as a team to do the NBA playbook here a little later. That's available on runpuresports.com. Promo code spread15 to get in on the winning. But your thoughts when the Lakers take on the Nuggets tonight?
Yeah, I mean, as for tonight, well, I'll talk about the series first, and then we'll go into tonight. As for the series spread, I think I'm going to make you a little happy on this one. I think I'm going to be on the Nuggets. I think they match up a little better. There's nobody really behind AD to guard Jokic. Like, what are we putting Tristan Thompson on the floor? He's just not. He brings no offense. You can't put Wenyen Gabriel or Rui Hachimura on him. They're too small. So you can't go that route. Denver's the best rebounding team left, so the Lakers aren't getting many second chance points in this series. The Nuggets also don't foul much. It just lines up to where I think the Nuggets are going to pull this off in the end. I think they're going to win it in Game 6 in LA and surprise a lot of people. But as for tonight, I think because you look at the first two Game 1s that the Lakers won, they called them must-win games. You had Ja Morant get hurt in that game, and you had the Warriors coming off of Game 7 when they played it the night before. Denver's more rested than the Lakers are now. They're playing at elevation. And these two teams haven't matched up with the new rosters yet. They've yet to play this Lakers team, which makes me like the over again, too, spread that you said, because no defense when you need to make adjustments. There's no real adjustments here. You haven't seen each other yet. And I think I'm going to be on Denver because I think this is going to go back to being the LeBron James Game 1 feel out. We need adjustments. And I think Game 2 is where the Lakers look to steal a game in Denver. So give me the Nuggets tonight.
Tyler, I love that. You know that breakdown, that sounded to me like when they're in the movie and they're about, the angelic choir just starts singing as the character is about to ascend into heaven. That's what that breakdown sounded like to me. But I'm a little worried.
If they do win the series, though, it's got to be like on LeBron's back more than AD's. Like he's going to have to show up big time.
And after hearing a breakdown that sounded like an angelic choir to me, I'm worried that this next breakdown is going to sound like that Norse death metal where they just scream and it's just tough to listen to. Travis, do you have good news for me? Are you going to be the bearer of bad news? Are you going to bring me back to reality after I was doing so well?
Yeah, it'll definitely be a long-winded answer, but that's what I do here. So for one, Tyler, I'm gonna let me play devil's advocate. Like I love hearing the take of Ja Morant died. It's like, okay, like what happened to the Timberwolves? What happened to the Suns? They died too, right? Like I think the injury argument, it's like everyone needs a little bit of luck, everyone needs something to happen. Like I don't care as much as that. I think both sides had a little bit of luck go their way. I think one thing people discount about that Suns series, when Chris Paul didn't hurt his groin, the Suns were starting to find something. Like they were. And then, of course, yeah, like when Terrence Ross and TJ Warren are your guys out there, like, yeah, it's going to be bumpy. So that's one thing I'll at least counter with there. Another thing I want to counter with is the Nuggets don't foul a lot. It's like, well, the Lakers, they get all the calls in the world, right? Like it's like
that's going to be another one of the deciding factors here is if the refs are going to paint the narrative and do the Nuggets.
Which they are. I mean, let's already factor that in.
I don't think you're factoring that in as much. Like, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to be conspiracy guy a little bit, but like.
I will. I'll take that for you.
Here's the issue you're going to get to too. Like, it's really hard to knock out LeBron James if you get to Game 6 and Game 7. Like, when he's staring you down in Game 6 and Game 7, like I came on, I think it was the rundown I was on, and I said Game 6 LeBron is going to show up. Like he's going to show up. He's not going to wait till Game 7. He's going to go out there and grab the bull by the horns and win it there. Like it's just simple, and he did do that, right? It's just he's a hard guy to knock off. Like this is his last. Like this is one of his last runs, right? Like we don't have many.
We've been saying that for years. We're going to be saying that like 5 years from now.
No, I think Mangone's right. It's not like his last run, but it's definitely one of his last runs as the main guy, right?
He's not
even the main guy anymore.
He's one of the main two guys.
Yeah.
The point being is like no one's going to be shocked if LeBron has a run next year, but there's a great chance AD dies next year and like he's just done for the season. And like, yeah, the Lakers aren't making a run without AD. Like this feels real. Like this opportunity feels realistic for LeBron James to win a title. And let me tell you, when's the last time this guy has been in a title race? It was the bubble. Okay. The bubble had no fans and everything. This dude is hungry. Like it's hard. Yes, the Nuggets have the best player in the league. I'm not betting against the best player of all time, arguably, spread. We'll start there. We'll go that. I don't want to get you upset, but this dude is built different. Like, this is the anomaly. Like, if we're talking about the anomalies, it's like Michael Jordan, LeBron James. You put Curry as a weird anomaly. You know who that next weird anomaly is? It's Victor, or it's like Luka. And I don't know if it's Luka. It sounds like it's Victor now. At least that's what everyone's thinking. But it's hard to bet against this guy in this spot. I think it's going to get to game 6 or game 7. And when it gets there, I'm going to bet on the best player of all time figuring it out. I haven't done we've got a gift with the Lakers, take the plus, 135 or whatever. I haven't done that yet. I don't know if I'm going to, but I'm more nervous. And the reason why I'm more nervous is I don't think you can attack those smaller guards like Poole, Curry, those guys. KCP and Bruce Brown, that's legit guys coming in on defense, right? Like, they're legit players. They're not bad. The one thing the Lakers do have is the Lakers have guys that they can counter with if, like, they're in trouble, right? They have different options that they can try. Lonnie Walker. They can try weird stuff. The Nuggets don't really have that. The Nuggets have their core group of guys, and the Nuggets 6 through 9 is way better than the Lakers 6 through 9. But the Lakers do have like a 10, 11, and 12 that they can maybe throw in as like a gadget guy. But obviously that Nuggets bench depth is better. The counterpoint to Jokic, Tyler, of he's going to play 42 minutes, and what are they going to do when AD's not in there? Like, dude.
They're going to match minutes.
What?
They're going to match minutes. There's like no
doubt.
Yeah,
they're going to match minutes. And it's going to be Gordon at the 5. And would you be shocked to see LeBron go at the 5 with him? And they just do that? No, not really. I think they might do that. And just – now that would –
Now, how do you think they go? How do you think Denver matches up with LA? Like, who's guarding who? How do you think this works out? Because I think I'm a little different than everyone else here. I think everyone wants to put Aaron Gordon on AD, and I don't think that's what's going to happen.
No, Aaron Gordon's on LeBron.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. And Jokic has to show his defense here and guard AD.
AD's going to be with Jokic matched up, and then you're gonna have Schroeder, I think, chasing Jamal Murray like Landry Shamet was over all the screens, and then that's going to cause D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves. What they'll have to do is they'll probably have to sell out on defense on guys, and then they'll hedge onto the pick and roll where they can to like help out, and then they'll sell out on KCP, Bruce Brown, and MPJ, and hope they don't hit those shots. And obviously they're gonna have to try and trick them too, and hit the drive or then kick it around. So it's going to be a fun series. Like, this series is going to be awesome. Like, I'm super excited to watch this one. I also feel like I felt very confident about the Lakers the past couple series. I don't feel as confident. I think this Denver team is really, really strong. I think it's a very good team. And there is the factor of, like, if one of LeBron or AD, like, just like, again, like they fall apart for like 1 or 2 games, like, yeah, that's kind of curtains for them, right? Like, it's going to be a really big blow. And that could happen more likely than not. Like, it's not like a 60% chance, right? But like, if AD goes down, you can't be the guy that's like, oh, if AD didn't go down, it's like, well, we know that's factored in. It's like Embiid. Like, you have to like realize that could happen. They're going to have to get a little lucky with this injury luck and hope it doesn't hurt them. But I do think the most interesting thing for me to watch in this series is I want to watch Dennis Schroeder. I believe it'll be him or like Reeves or D'Lo, but I likely comes Schroeder. I want to watch the matchup of AD and Schroeder versus Jamal Murray and Jokic. I want to watch those guys kind of go back and forth. Like, that pick and roll, I'm excited to see, because I think the matchup of AD and Jokic is going to be fascinating to watch. Like, and the other thing is maybe AD isn't as good on the offensive end or even on the defensive end, because Jokic works him so much that it's like he gets a little tired. Like,
I think that's where his offense is going to slow down, because last series it was like you could beat up on the Draymonds and the Kevin Looneys. Draymond's a good defender and all, but he's also 6 inches shorter than AD.
Yeah.
So unless you're bullying him around, which you're just going to get foul calls, you can't do that. Jokic is going to post him up, beat him up, and try and get buckets on him. He's going to tire him out and beat this guy up. So his offense is really going to take a toll. That's why it's got to be more a LeBron series, in my opinion. And
then the question is, can LeBron handle the defense of Aaron Gordon and these other guys? Because it's not as easy as these Lakers options, right? But at the end of the day, am I going to sit here and bet on LeBron James in game 6 or 7? I'm not. I'm just not. You can do it. You can bet against him. I'm not going to do it. So
JC, first thing I need to do is thank you for all the winners you've been putting on the sheet over here at runpuresports.com. I'm putting those in right now. I'm putting in some Joey Work and some JJ Baseball. It's a great time to become a member. So, hey, even though it's summer and you think the sports are slowing down, you can be like me. Maybe you're an NBA guy, right? You don't want to grind all summer, but you still want that money. Still want to eat steak, right? I'm not eating no peasant food chicken for dinner. We're having steak for dinner tonight because I'm taking these plays from JC Zargo. I'm taking these plays from JJ and Joey Work. And, of course, that's because I belong to runpuresports.com. You can, too. So, JC, I'm throwing these bets in right now, but talk to me about tonight's game.
Yeah, absolutely appreciate the spread plug. We've been having a tremendous playoff run in the NHL streets. That's why I spend more of my time doing hockey than basketball. But I am here to break down the series. Mangone, you make a lot of great points. And I completely agree. I'm not betting against LeBron in a Game 7. But this game isn't even getting close to a Game 7. Everything you say about how things are lining up for the Lakers, that's how I feel about Denver. They've kind of been so close. They've been flirting with it. They've been underappreciated. They came into this playoffs as an underdog, the number 1 seed. They don't have any injuries, and they're still not favored. And they have bullied their way to the Western Conference Finals, and they're just going to bully them all the way to the finals. We could talk about what happens there once we get there, but I see this as a no contest. Easy play. Denver minus 1.5 games playing out plus 140. I don't think this game gets past 5. I think it's going to be ugly. The way they're playing, it's just head and shoulders above everyone else, and I don't think the Lakers are going to be able to slow them down. While you were talking, I was able to look up Jokic's stats against Anthony Davis. His last 5 games, 25, 23, 31, 38, 32. Rebounds, 11, 14, 13, 18, 9. Like, they're just not going to have an answer for the greatest player in the league. And unless LeBron can step up in a big way, because he's been solid. I'm not a LeBron hater, but he is going to need to play far better than he has been to even give the Lakers a shot. That's my take on the series. As for game 1, though, as for tonight, there's no reason to even look at the Lakers. That's even if you'd like them to win the series, there's a great argument to be made there. It's fine. But in game 1, do not bet against Denver. The Nuggets have yet to drop a game at Ball Arena, and they're 5-1 at the spread, and they've been demolishing teams in game 1. I don't know if it's the altitude or what. Even if you think the Lakers win in 5, Denver's taking game 1. They shouldn't have any trouble covering the spread either.
All right, JC is on the Nuggets tonight. Tyler, anything more about this before I ask you about some of the props that I played and get your thoughts?
No, we just want your take on the side and the total spread.
I don't know. If you want me to pick a side, I'll take the Nuggets in 5. You like that for taking a side? Give me Nuggets in 5. For tonight, I lean towards Denver. I don't love it. I think the 6 points might be a little too much, but it does seem like because of my officiating concerns, if Denver wins these games, they're going to have to do it in a comprehensive and no doubt fashion. So I'll take the Nuggets minus 6. Can I pass on the total, Tyler? Have I taken enough sides yet, or do you need me to pick a total too?
No, that's fine, Fred. I mean, I guess you can.
I'll take the over if you force me to, but I don't know if I love it as much. So
okay, so we have Nuggets in 5, Nuggets in 5. What do you have, Tyler?
I'm saying Nuggets in 6. I think they put up more of a fight.
Okay, it's like
I could definitely see it going 7 too. I could see it being one of those.
I hate going against the flame.
It's Lakers in 7, but that's okay.
I could see it going 7 where it's the home teams win out every game. Like there's not a road win across the board.
It's gonna be fun. I'll say that it's gonna be a lot of fun. Like this series will be awesome.
I forgot my other big stat. Lakers are 1-4 in their last 5 in Denver.
I like that one. Of course, we have to throw out the earlier games.
I got LeBron James. I don't care. I'm good. I got LeBron and AD. You can have wherever else you want.
All right.
This man, I was just telling you, like this man is like hung, like this man hasn't been here in a minute with this environment. That's all.
No, I completely agree with that. Like he's definitely set up way better here than he's ever been. I said it was an easy draw that got them the Grizzlies in the first round because the Grizzlies didn't stand a chance without their big men. But they definitely showed. I mean, that defense suffocated the Warriors. So I'll give you that. But I don't think they can stop Denver.
Yeah. Beaner, you said Nuggets in 4. I know you're just a LeBron hater and troll, but if you would like, I'll bite. I'll take the Lakers at even money to win the series. If you want to you want to just give me the Lakers, or not even money, I should say. That's the wrong way to word it. If you want to make a wager, I'll slide in. We can sort out the vig and figure it out. If you're that confident in these Nuggets, I'll say that.
I
should have brought Rubio on today. Rubio Sportsbook.
I'll take that action, Mango.
All right, we'll have to discuss. I'll have to see what line we can do.
Okay.
I more so wanted Beaner's money, to be honest, because Beaner literally hates LeBron James. But like, it's I already booked a big free line on the Lakers. I will say the one thing I do have to think about. I have to think about this is I do have that good Lakers money tickets. Like, I personally think I can watch a couple of games and then make the hedges in the right spot if I want to. I know other people I've talked to disagree and they just think I should bet Nuggets now and then bet Celtics if it doesn't happen. I'm going to watch and see what happens. I'm going to wait. If you happen to be like, I know there's some people who do have like tickets to me. If you want my take, just DM me on the Discord or even on Twitter. I'll talk to you about how I'm at least handling it. But I feel like if the Nuggets win game 1, the line doesn't move that much major that I'm that worried.
No.
Like I can get,
absolutely not.
Yeah, like I value sacrificing 20 or 30 cents to watch game 1 or 2. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, what do you think it moves to, Tyler? If it's 140 right now, it's going to move to like 190. It'll be like 50 cents. Just
again, I'll sacrifice 50 cents to watch.
You don't think so?
No.
All right, what do you got it at?
They're not like, even if the Lakers win the series, they're not like supposed to.
They're not expected to win this game at all. It's not going to move as. Like, even if it moves 50 cents, I value watching game 1 to make my decision. Like, I will sacrifice 80 cents probably, as dumb as that sounds. I mean, my ticket's just worth so much. It's so much more valuable to watch that first game. I might even watch it twice spread. I'm going to record it. I might even watch it twice to make sure I get the proper analysis in.
All right. JC, we'll have a little friendly bet. Right now, I see the Nuggets at minus 158. I say they're more than minus 208 if they win. All right. And it's just a friendly bet. No money.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I got over minus 208. You got under minus 208.
I'll take that.
If truth and justice prevail tonight. But of course, there's always a chance that this is the beginning of China's American takeover.
Just a reminder, no one wanted to bet against, including myself, no one wanted to bet on the Lakers in game 1 against the Warriors. No one.
Not
Tyler did.
What?
This guy
if
did.
you were paying attention to the show, that's what Tyler.
Maybe I missed it.
It's so different.
I'm just pointing out. I think everyone was scared a little bit of it. I know Tyler and I were on the Lakers side for sure. I was even scared in game 1 for sure. Right? Like, it's not easy.
I love fading teams off of game 7s on one day of rest. I'll do it every time. If I lose, I'll lose.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I forgot about that. That was a very good point. I forgot it was the game 1. Off the rest or game 7.
That's why just spoiler alert, I'm on Heat +8 tomorrow.
Yeah,
I hope people still tune in tomorrow, Tyler.
Not saying they win the game,
everything away.
I think 8's a little bit too much for a team that just played game 7 a few days ago.
All right, Tyler, you ready to review these player props? I bet.
Let me hear
a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Me and JC and our guy Mangone, who's been crushing the player props. You got to check those out on the spreadsheet for sure. What are you, 11-4? Since the playoffs have started, Travis?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if I can go back and calculate the units, but I don't know. Part of me is just like, I don't care. They're going to win. So, but I do have some props for you. So here's the ones I've came up with pretty quickly. I just shopped on DK. I did not shop these on other sites. I was doing it while you guys were talking. So, the ones I liked, I think the Jokic.
I like how you're so open about the fact that you don't listen to anything we say.
No, because it was supposed to be Spread's breakdown of his props, and Travis was like, "I'll just go into mine."
The thing is,
No, hey, the people are here for Travis. I'm here every day. I want to hear it.
I'm doing it for the people. I was busy breaking it down, and I don't know. I got busy this morning. So
You do have the hot hand, so yeah, let's hear those props.
So Jokic is over on points at 27.5. I like that. I think that's a good one. It's not my favorite, but it's
that was one I was debating taking the under because in game 1 against Phoenix, he had 24. In game 1 against Minnesota, he had 13. Do we care? Do we think there's something in the game plan?
It's like slight lean. It's not one of my favorites. Then I would say these two were really good. I struggle with betting, or actually the last 3 were all pretty good. I struggle with betting. Like I like to pick one or the other. Like for instance, like I don't know how good I feel about LeBron James over 24.5 and Anthony Davis over 22.5. I think both are good. I don't know which one's my favorite. I have to look at it, but I think those two are pretty good. If I was doing a single game parlay, do I include both? I don't know if I include both. Maybe it's just one. The one I think is really strong, like really, really strong. I think all the panel will agree and it'll be in favor. It's a, I don't want to disrespect the guy, but it's kind of a role player on the road. It's an Austin Reeves under on points at 14.5. It seems pretty good. The line is only -110 also. Some of the ones I was looking at, there were good ones, but they were like -150 or -140. And maybe like I do my single game parlays typically on FanDuel because DK, they like let me bet $7 on them or like $2. It's egregious. So FanDuel at least allows me to get something down. So that's where I kind of do them. So I have to shop for my FanDuel lines, but for DK lines, that's the best that I found. If you want to put together let's see what that would do. Who do we like more? Do we like, as a team, do we like 80s over or LeBron's over more on points?
I like LeBron's over more than
I do too.
Just to touch back on your Reeves under, I feel like I'd rather have a D'Angelo Russell under. Like he's worse on the road. Reeves kind of attacks the rim more to where Russell will settle for these jump shots. His jumper usually doesn't fall on the road to where Denver can't defend the paint whatsoever. Like Reeves could still get buckets at the rim all night. We talked about the foul calls they're going to get. He's another guy that shoots free throws a ton for them. So I feel like I'd rather have a Russell under than a Reeves under here.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. The numbers don't agree with you. I put my own. I like to put my own mix too, but I also like to stay close to them where I can like kind of. It's not what I'm in love with. I'll say that, but I don't hate the call. So if I did this parlay, we did LeBron's over, we did Reeves under, and we did LeBron or Jokic over. What does that create? DraftKings is dumb, and they say you can't do it. I think I have to go to like. I hate this. I hate the DraftKings single game parlay. It's not as good as FanDuel, right, Tyler? Am I right about that?
No, it stinks. You can't even do unders in it.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, so let's do it on FanDuel quick. I know this is Spread's favorite part of the show. It's electric right now. We're creating a single game parlay.
This part of the show.
Spread, what's your thoughts on our single game parlay?
I mean,
now would be a great time to bring in Spread's elevator music.
Yeah, it would be. All right,
we won't get kicked off the channel, will we?
Okay, so
hit on mute right now. We'd hear "Good Morning Heartache" by Milt Jackson.
So we have to do over on LeBron James, 24.5 points because it's 23.5 on 80 on FanDuel. We could take the under on Reeves at the -105. Jokic is at the 28.5. It's not 27.5. That is frustrating. Let's see if this ruins everything. Well, these two are plus.
Well, how about this? While you do that, let me read off my props to Tyler, and then you can add some of them if you like them. All right.
Okay, that's a good call.
And then you'll have it kicked up by the end. And of course, JC, I want your thoughts too. My first one, Michael Porter Jr. over 6.5 rebounds. One thing that the Lakers had over the Warriors was their size. Against the Nuggets, that won't be the case. Porter Jr., 6'10", a small forward, right? A completely different team. Warriors were running the lineup with Draymond Green, who's not even 6'10" at center. So I think it's going to be a little tougher for them to grab rebounds tonight. Porter Jr. gone over this rebounding prop in 3 of the last 4 games, and Porter's averaging 7.5 rebounds per game during this postseason. Tyler, start with you. Would you want to join me in taking Michael Porter Jr. over on rebounds?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that one. My only worry there is he's going to hang out on the perimeter a ton and just be a 3-point decoy because he just stretches the floor so much for them. But then on the other end, he should be able to get in there and get some rebounds.
Yeah, I didn't look. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but I think that of the 7.5, it's less than 1 offensive rebound per game. These are all defensive rebounds.
He'll get them because of the Gordon at the 5 minutes are really big for him too.
Yeah. So that's my first one. JC, you gonna join me there? You like it?
I don't mind. I was looking at his stats earlier today, trying to find a prop for him. That was one I was debating. So if you're on it, I'll jump aboard.
What about 5.5 at -144? Because that's what FanDuel has dealt me.
Yeah, I got plus 124 on that. So I think that's fantastic.
-144, which sucks, but it's 5.5 is the number. But we'll toss that in the parlay. The numbers agree. The 5.5. I mean, I don't love -144, but that's fine. We'll throw it in there. What other ones you got spread?
All right. I know you went under on Astaire's points, but I'm going over on his assists. He's gone over tonight's total of 3.5 assists in 23 of the last 30 games. And over those 30 games, Reeves, 5.2 assists per game. He's been doing a lot of that pick and roll action with LeBron. Kind of emerged as the number 3 option there on offense for the Lakers. Tyler, I know Travis went under on the points. I'm going over on the assists. What do you think?
Yeah, I love that prop. I mean, that was when I bet in that last game they played against the Warriors. He hit the 5. You could even do the 5+ on FanDuel also, and you can get some plus money on that. So I love that prop.
I like that one spread a lot. That's another one I had in there, but it was like in that -140 juice on DK, and I was like, I don't love that. And then I got -130 on FanDuel. So right now that's part of it. Please, no one bet it yet. We'll do it all together at the same time. We're crafting it up. I don't want to lose any lines. I'll say that if everyone, I mean, who knows how many people are actually hitting it, but I'm at 9-1 right now. Is 9-1 good, or we need to throw more in or spread? Maybe you keep firing.
I mean, like I said, I'll keep firing this off. If you want to add them, that's fine. If you're not, I will not be offended. Dennis Schrader over 8.5 points. Schrader's gone over this number in 3 of the last 4 games, and he's averaging 9.75 points per game. Another one, I think he's going to get a lot of run. He used to be such a detriment on defense. It was hard to give him run, but he's actually playing a lot better defensively. And if you would have told me that like 3 or 4 years ago, I would have said no way. I thought he was on his way to that Lou Williams microwave off the bench roll. But he's become a solid 2-way player. I guess I don't like this one as much. It doesn't support it as much, but he has been going over this number. Tyler, I think Schroeder has a big night.
I'll pass on this prop spread. I ain't playing no Schroeder overs.
Yes,
that's fine. You want to join me with Z German there, JC?
I see Travis's facial expression. He's on my side here.
I like
we go through these quick.
Play a little bit more.
All right, that's fine. I mean, that's why I'm just throwing these all out there, and I have no problems. Let's see, what else did I bet? You know what? So I bet this one yesterday, and I regret it. I took Jamal Murray over 24.5. I didn't see the sickness at that point. I can't give that out. I took 80 under 13.5 rebounds. That's another one I don't like. But what do you think of LeBron over on his assists? He averaged 6.8 points assists per game during the regular season. That number's dropped to about where the prop is tonight at 5.5 for the postseason. But it could be argued he's not going to have that same advantage matchup against Aaron Gordon that he did against the Warriors. And then, of course, in the first round against the Grizzlies, do you think maybe we see a little more of the Magic Johnson version of LeBron tonight? Or do you think he'll continue to be a big scorer? Tyler, I took over on the assists. Thumbs up or thumbs down on my prop?
I'm going to go like thumb in the middle, like just to the side. I'm more on the points, but I could see him passing the ball more if he's just killing them and they got to double him early. So rather play the points than the assists there.
I see LeBron, one of the greatest passers of all time. Is he going to get those assists for me tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's hit that number in like 3 of his last 4. At only needing 6. I don't mind that.
All right, Travis, if you want to throw that in there, otherwise I am done, and you can give the people what you cooked up.
I do not want to throw that in there.
One of the greatest passers of all time, right?
Well, it's not the worst bet. It's just not like it's like Tyler's.
What would be the worst bet?
The Schroeder one. I don't like that.
There's actually one I'm debating on throwing in, and it gets us from 9-1 to like almost 13-1. It's under on Jokic's 3-pointers at 1.5. What on earth do we think of that? the problem is it's like a minus one.
I like that because AD will get out to the perimeter. Like AD can move. He's not going to stand in the paint like Ayton and Lando where just let him shoot.
It's minus 240. I'm not in love with this one. I'm not
either, but I don't think he shoots more than 3 tonight. So if he's going to hit 2 of the 3,
this is what's happening. I can feel it, right? I'm forcing something. Let's just take our 9-1 and move on. I'm going to do that. Who doesn't want? Is anyone going to be upset if they hit a 9-1 bet tonight? Anybody?
I won't.
Okay, no one's going to be upset.
Right.
Okay, that's good to hear. Let's all be happy. I'm logging in. We're going to hit the button and move on. So it's verifying the location. We got.
All right. While you do that, I'm going to give out the best bets, and you can give that out during your best bet segment. All right.
Let me give it out now. So let me just
give it out now. Okay.
Let's give it out now. Let's give it out so I can hit the button. It's LeBron James over 24.5 points. It's under Austin Reeves 14.5 points. It's over Michael Porter Jr. 5.5 rebounds. And it's over Austin Reeves 3.5 assists. We hit the button and let's hope it hits.
All right, JC, do you have any more thoughts on tonight's game or just the NBA in general before we give the people the best bet?
Yeah, I did want to get your guys' thoughts on Jokic's under, because if Mangone, you're like an over, I'll just stay away. But specifically to his game 1 performances we've seen thus far, we like in the under, or should I just stay away?
It's whatever you want to do. I mean, if you feel your conviction, go for it.
I might stay away. You know, Travis talked about this in the other series, right? Let's see how. I really want to see how the Lakers approach this, right? Because, and I don't do the scouting myself. This is from me listening to podcasts where they talk about strategy, and I can't remember which one, if it's dunker spot or dunked on. But one of them was saying, hey, they reviewed all the Vanderbilt trying to cover Jokic minutes. Didn't work at all. They reviewed the LeBron trying to cover Jokic minutes. Didn't work so well. If they are forced to put AD on him, number one, that takes away the Lakers' number 1 defensive roamer, and Vanderbilt will have to go into that role. And it should lower Jokic's point output, but up his assist output. So, I mean, when you're making that bet, JC, do you think that Darvin Ham will assign Anthony Davis, and do you think they'll play each other straight up, or do you think they get kind of fancy with ways to approach Jokic? I wouldn't be surprised if they were content to let Jokic beat them and then just shut down everybody else.
I think that's a horrible game plan. I think you got to just run AD out there and put your best foot forward and go from there.
Then if that's your script, I think your under's on point. But if they put anyone else on him, right, if you're watching and you're seeing LeBron or Jared Vanderbilt getting matched up against him, it's just, tomorrow's a new day, right? Every day's a new day.
Tyler, what do you think?
What was that?
Jokic under tonight. JC,
I'm not messing with any Jokic unders tonight.
1-1-1. Wow, guys, really helped me out here. All right, I'll when I go over the border to place my bets, I'll have to make a decision then.
All right. Love to hear about people crossing the border here on runpuresports.com. Travis is not in for any border crossing here on this show. He dropped off. Maybe he'll rejoin us, maybe not. But for now, he already gave out his player prop, right? So if he's done for the day.
He gave us the same game, and then he just bounced on us.
I'm back. My computer just broke. It just always breaks. I need a new one.
I say, yeah, for a guy
you can afford it since you're a member at runpuresports.com. Tell those NBA playbook plays, Travis. Hey, and you know what? Do what I do. Buy an Apple computer. I think Apple makes great products. All right.
My problem is spread. I can't figure out which one to buy, and I have too much indecision. So it's like I just keep saying I need one, and then.
All right. Are you doing a desktop or a laptop?
I'm on my laptop. I'm doing a desktop. I want a new desktop.
Get the Mini Mac and just buy your own monitor. It's so dope.
No.
Dude, the Mini Mac is dope.
I hate Apple computers.
I like my desktop setup. I just have to figure out what I'm buying. That's all.
Get a Mini Mac and then you can just buy whatever monitors you want. It's so dope.
I'm good.
You could run up to 3 off.
Or get any PC. You can still get whatever monitors you want.
I'm just gonna be honest, Brett. I don't know if for instance, if I said spread, there's this movie from the 1960s, you'd be like, okay, I don't want to take advice from him here. I don't know if your computer tech advice is as good as, some other.
You are talking to an Android using guy too, Travis. I wouldn't take computer.
Oh
advice from
gosh,
an
he's got.
Android
You
guy.
have an
Android phone, but
and you're counting Mac products. What is happening?
Yeah, he's just all over the place. He's in shambles now. Look,
I'm a weird dude. I'm a walking
And we're
contradiction.
supposed to be surprised this guy's an axe murderer.
Android phone, Apple
I've
laptop,
never heard of
nicest
such a
guy in
thing.
the world.
I mean,
Serial killer.
Oh my
spread.
god!
It's again like if you heard that Mangone and Tyler had a great 1960s movie reference, your response should
I
be,
would watch it.
Your response should be, I'm not taking advice from them on 1960s movies because it doesn't.
No,
make sense.
because I would think, okay, Mango's finally turned the corner. He realized that quoting Vin Diesel from Fast and Furious isn't going to do him very well when he's going out looking for girls. But hey, Cary Grant, Humphrey Bogart, these guys might have some ideas on how to be a smooth talker. And the great thing is, you can even do it now with the 80s stuff. You can just quote Prince lyrics, and girls are going to think you're so smooth. They're going to have no idea you're stealing all of it. What is it? A good artist borrows, great artist steals. Tyler, at this point, you got to save us. We got to get
I was
back
about
to
to
the
say,
sports.
look at him trying to just piece this back together. This is awesome. Let's get to the.
I am in shambles. The Lakers continue to win. I've been getting owned on the show left and right. I mean, really, the only thing I have for me is all the money I'm making on the NBA playbook and with the other plays here at runpuresports.com. That's the only positive thing I have going for me in my life. Oh, and I'm the most jacked 47-year-old in the sports gambling space. Your best bet, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a Jamal Murray 4+ threes and Denver wins this game. I think he shows up at home today. 4+.
You're not worried
to
about
win.
that questionable tag?
Nope. They had that Q tag in game 6 against Phoenix, and he was perfectly fine in that game. So 4 days rest, I think he'll be all right here, spread.
All right. I love to hear that. JC, your best bet for the day.
My favorite bet I'm placing today is Denver -1.5 games plus 140. But if you're going out tonight and you need a bet to cover all your drinks, just throw it on Denver -6.
Travis, best bet for tonight, side total prop.
Best bet for tonight is Austin Reeves under 14.5 points. I'm going to throw that on the sheet pretty shortly. So that'll be on there. I might throw some MLB ones on there. So if you haven't signed up, go sign up at Run Pure Bets. Check out some of the props that I'll have up there. I'll dig through it here in the next couple hours or so. And Lakers win the series. I'm on an island. Reminder, I'm on an island here against these three guys. So should be a fun time for us. I'm excited to come on. Maybe you guys can sneak me on a show. Because I don't think I'm on until next Friday. But maybe you can sneak me on one of these shows. If Denver's up 3-1 though, or something, or maybe I'll hide, right? But if the Lakers are, if the Lakers steal a game, I'm definitely weaseling my way on the show. I'll say that.
Travis, let me know. Open invite anytime. We enjoy having you on there. The chatters enjoy having you on there. Guys, if you want to see Travis before next Friday, hit that thumbs up. Reminder, we're here right now. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Giving you the winners, and of course, become a member, join the Discord, take advantage of those winners in the NBA playbook. My best bet for today, I'll do the Porter rebounds. I like that one. I also like the Austin Reeves. I think player props are kind of fun way for me to approach tonight because you don't know how scared I am that the Lakers win this game 1. And I feel like I was joking with my buddy Noobs. I did the wagering world a little earlier, right? Because he puts this in his threads. It's not a must win, but it's an almost must win for the Nuggets because if they don't win tonight, I think it's going to be tough for them to win this series. So I feel like the Lakers are free rolling. The Nuggets got to get the win here. I'm going to be really nervous watching this for tonight, embracing my inner hater.
Spread, have you heard Ski's take on it? Because he was pretty high in the Nuggets last series, like I was. Have you gotten his take yet or no?
I haven't. He comes on usually to talk to us on Friday, and I haven't listened to any of his shows yet this week.
Oh, okay. Whenever just send me a DM. I'm curious where he's at because I respect his opinion a lot, and I like that we are aligned really well on it. I'll say that.
I'll try and bring him on one of the Fridays because I already talked to him a lot, and I'd love to have you guys all in together. So I'll talk to him about that as well. But runpuresports.com. But Tyler, I got a tough decision today, and you know me, I don't like taking sides. So you're going to choose who's going to do our words of wisdom.
We'll give it to our guy JC. He's picking himself out, so we'll give it to our guy JC.
All right.
Sorry, Mango, and I had something really important I need to say today.
That's
No
fine.
Monday show.
I'll do my words of wisdom when the Lakers ship the series. I'll be there for that.
Fair enough. Look, with no Monday show, we weren't able to do, our NBA weekend review. I had a lot of thoughts, so I didn't get all of them out. So I'm just going to use this platform real quick to I'm talking true words of wisdom, important stuff to live by. So everybody kind of listen up. This is huge. Look, in America, you can own a gun. Right or wrong, I'm not here to talk about that. That's the law. You can't. And if you're going to, that's fine. It's your right. But don't flash it on social media, especially if it's going to cost you millions of dollars. From here, everybody.